Van Halen was unstoppable in the 80s and early 90s, cranking out 8 top 20 hits, 4 #1 albums, and a slew of unforgettable videos. But they just couldn't hold on to a singer. After losing both Sammy Hagar and Gary Cherone in just 4 years, the band slipped into rock and roll limbo. Meanwhile, after the initial success of platinum-selling albums Crazy from the Heat, Eat 'Em and Smile, and Skyscraper, original mouthpiece David Lee Roth saw his popularity start to sag. The spandex wardrobe and onstage kung fu aerobics that once won thunderous applause were now starting to produce yawns.
Hello, this is Dave, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about life. And I'm coming to you from all points in between. A little loving on my mind. A little loving. She's my machine. Yeah, baby.
Mr. Rocky, anything you want to say to us about this?
That's life.
You can't get a lower edge bust, a more cheap throwaway as far as a quote-unquote drug bust goes. This poor detective standing up there with a plastic bag the size of a saddle blanket. And he's just a little piece of green in the corner like this. And he's going, oh yeah, we netted him. I know, I spent 6.5 hours handcuffed next to a Jamaican named Tree because of his haircut. In an Econoline answering questions, you know, to all the rest of the guys on the chain. You really Dave Rupp? Yeah, yeah.
But instead of letting himself bottom out completely, he launched a series of radical schemes designed to give his limp career a dose of Viagra.
That's Dave. He's like the showman. He put his own money into that, and he whipped that salsa band into this like merciless shape.
Just a gigolo, and everywhere I go, people know the part I'm playing.
I talked to Dave one night, like in the 90s, and I said, Dave, I just saw the ad for the Vegas thing. I said, I gotta go see it. And he goes, I'll make sure there's a ticket waiting for you, Henry.
I don't know if anybody saw his Vegas thing.
I guess Vegas didn't dig him, or it didn't work.
You read of his book. That book goes like, it starts cool and then it just goes, it's like, what are you talking about now? Which paragraph we in?
I've read in a couple of reviews where they say, oh, you know, it tends to ramble. Tends?
It's kung fu, and it's babes, and it's funny, and it's serious, and we got ballads, and we're on heightened alert. It sounds like English, but I ain't making much sense. Whoa! I know, you think I'm out of my mind, but leave a message.
No Holds Barbecue. I'm sure the first time Picasso showed up, somebody said, hey, both eyes are on one side of the head. You got to correct that.
Sammy Hagar's taken his own unconventional career path since splitting from Van Halen, a path that includes a lot of pit stops at his Cabo Wabo Cantina in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico.
It's my baby, and everyone thinks that, you know, it's part Van Halen and all that. There was a time when Van Halen was involved with it when I built it. But I wanted to build a place where I could go sing and play with friends, because I spent a lot of time down there, and I am a guy that sings and plays music. I'm a motor man. There's no chemicals or sugar in it, so preservatives, so therefore you don't get a hangover. You don't get a headache.
Do you?
It was completely rebellion against Van Halen. It was like, I'm just going to write songs that I couldn't do in Van Halen.
All right, now here we go. Now we're going to tell you a little story about the way we like to party. Take you on a trip. Hear it? Masakila!
"1013" is the epitome of who and what I am today. I'm very proud of this record.
February 2002, Sammy Hagar's phone rings. On the other end is David Lee Roth with a proposition, a Roth-Hagar co-headlining tour. Ironically, Sammy is hanging out with Van Halen bassist Michael Anthony at the time.
And Mike goes, "You gonna do it? I'm gonna go down and check it out, you know, and have a meet." I told Dave's guy, you know, Dave and I gotta meet, make sure we get along good enough, you know. I don't want to go out and have to yell and scream at, you know, each other all night. It was my idea a long time ago, and Dave wouldn't even talk about it. When I left Van Halen, the first thing I said was, call up David Lee Roth's agent, see if he wants to go out on tour with me. I said it'd be the coolest thing ever, you know, and Dave wouldn't even, like, slam the phone down, right? He walked in, and we shook hands and said, whatever's been said, just, you know, forget it. We take it from here.
We know you all love a good scandal, and that's why you're here today, ladies and gentlemen.
This is a pretty competitive tour in my book. I think I'm going to do the, you know, try my best to do the best show I've ever done in my life every night, and I'm sure Dave's going to do that times 10 as well. And I think it's going to make for great entertainment for the fans that come. They're going to see probably the best of us ever. And like Dave said, with all those hits, I just can't imagine walking away disappointed.
In terms of what you see on the deck up there, there's a rivalry in between us. The audience gets the absolute best out of both of us. It goes beyond just two guys. It goes beyond a list of songs. It goes beyond what the last band that we were in. It's a state of mind, and it's a point of view. Perhaps it's a state of mind and point of view that Van Halen has misplaced twice.
Take each step, baby. One by one.
Sammy and I are like fraternity brothers who've been through the same hazing.
You gotta love Dave, right? You gotta love him.
You don't have to love him, but you must tolerate him today.
Come on, baby. You say yeah.
Coming up, the hits the fan.
You know, he's going, you owe me more shows. I said, Dave, I don't owe you anything, pal. You crazy? You owe me. You know, for bringing you out here, getting you back in the game, pal.
Sam's always banging on the windshield. Bottle of tequila on one end and the other.
And a shot at immortality. Still to come on The Sammy and Dave Show, life after Van Halen.